Benue State? How can we tackle insecurity in the country? How can we save the entire state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from recurring insecurity issues that has bedeviled us? That has been our big concern, and we won't stop talking about it. It's our job to do that. And we know that, listen, if our country has to function economically, it has to have security. Because without security, investors run away, they flee, business cannot prosper or thrive in an environment where there is insecurity. So it means that if Delta State is being ravaged by bandits, by terrorists, by kidnappers, people would no longer invest in Delta State. Blessing and I would not have the pluck to go to a supermarket to purchase goods and services.
Exactly.
Hotels that have taken over Asaba, for instance, will not have people going there because people are scared that there would be an invasion or another terrifying incident. That's just what insecurity does.
If you think what's happening in Benue does not affect you in any way, wait until you begin to buy 2 seeds of tomatoes for 1,000 naira.
Yes.
Because trust me, it will affect every sector of the economy, especially food.
And we don't have
no one.
Benue is really the biggest
food basket of the country.
Food basket of the country. It's not a joke.
There is no one who can stay in Nigeria or any part of the world without food. So it's going to really affect us. We need to keep talking about this. We need to put our hands together to look for a solution. You know, sometimes when I've talked about the situation, I begin to ask myself, what is the way forward? What is the solution? Yes, we've been able to criticize government's lack of action or lack of efforts, but what is the solution? So we have to come together and really look at how can we, solve these issues. At this point, I think the federal government should look at our border control. It's very important. Our borders are so porous. We've heard from the headquarters, the military headquarters, they say that some of these terrorists are foreigners. They're not Nigerians. And sometimes they say foreigners are sponsoring this Boko Haram terrorists or bandits. What is the federal government now doing to make sure that our borders are secure? That is very important, because if these attackers, these bandits, have the habit of coming into the country, attacking and going out, then all the efforts, even the president's visit, will yield no results.
It's already there, massive military.
Yes, if it's there, it's going to yield no results. If they don't find out who these persons are, where they come from, and block wherever they're coming from, there will be no result, really.
So all the efforts are needed right now. We need to save this country, and actions should be taken ready. We can only talk. The truth is, we're not a security expert, so when we try to profile solutions, we're not going to do a very great job. But the job we're doing now is to put all that pressure, because this also terrifies us. So if you travel outside the shores of the country, and you mention Nigeria, even though you might be from Delta State, from Anambra State, from Imo State, you'll be seen as someone who is from Benue State. Because as far as the globe is concerned, people in Nigeria, 200 people in Nigeria were massacred in one night. They don't care whether it's Benue State or the like. So it affects the entire image of this country. And I'm sure the president is concerned about. That's why he's there. Massive military presence. May that military presence stay in